Estamos con Marky Ramone aquí en un hotel en Argentina. Marky, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
You came many times here to Buenos Aires. What the first memory that came to your mind when you put your feet here?
Well, the love of the fans, the way they reacted to when we played, and the joy of just seeing us being accepted like that, you know. That's what really turned us on.
And when did you realize that Argentina was going to be a special place for the Ramones?
When I came here,
The first time?
yeah, when I came here and we played these big places, I realized that the fans loved us, and in turn we loved them, and that's why we kept coming back, you know.
You know, the Ramones were not the same as every band because you did short songs, fast ones. The shows were short, if you know what I mean, 1 hour and a half, but that was enough.
Shows were about an hour and 15, 20 minutes, but we packed it all in. We didn't talk, we didn't, tune, we just played. So if you put that all together, we would have played close to 2 hours. But we just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 after each song, and at a very up-paced, speedy tempo, and that's why I think the fans liked what we did, because it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, no bullshit, you know.
You would tell that was the secret sauce of the Ramones?
Well, the lyrical content and the energy that we put out, a lot of the fans could relate to our lyrical content and the energy. You know, we had a lot of different age groups. Like when I play now, I have 17, 18-year-old fans. But back then, it was the same thing. I think the kids, the fans, whatever, noticed that and liked it, you know. So we played at a very up-pace tempo compared to a lot of other bands, and we had our own sound.
Mm-hmm. And was it not for you playing an hour and 15 minutes when you were younger? Maybe you were, I can play 3 hours maybe.
Well, there's always the downstroke eighth notes. That was very physical. Not that many bands could do that. But we could have played longer, but I think if you're playing constantly for an hour and 15, 20 minutes, I think that's enough.
Okay. And which would you say is your standout as a drummer? Is the technique? Is the speed?
The groove. The groove. Ramones had a groove. 1, 2, 3, 4, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. You know, eighth notes, downstrokes, very important. So that's what I continued to do, was just keep the beat, keep everybody in line, and make people happy.
Mm-hmm. Are you born with the groove, or you can learn the groove?
Well, you got to have it in you, you know. I mean, you could take lessons, which is good, but you have to have a certain kind of in you to have a metronome, a meter, to do a groove, you know, to keep it going, and I think that comes naturally.
When did you discover you got the groove?
I guess in every group I played with, Dust, Richard Hell and the Voidoids, the Ramones, you know, different time signatures.
Yeah, but you discovered you had the groove when you were a kid. You were starting with the drums.
Yeah, when I started playing with records in my bedroom, I was able to keep to the beat of the songs, of the hits of the day, you know. So I kind of like had that foundation.
And from all the Ramones songs you played, which is your favorite?
I Want to Be Sedated, Rock and Roll High School, KKK, Took My Baby Away, Pet Cemetery, I just want to have something to do, rock and roll radio. But then again, I like what Tommy did. I like Sheena's the Punk Rocker. I like Blitzkrieg Bop. I like Rockaway Beach. So there's a lot of songs.
I Want to Be Sedated was the first song you record, right?
Yeah, that was the first song I recorded with Johnny Joe and Dee Dee in 1978 in New York at Media Sound Studios for the Road to Ruin album. That's our biggest selling single.
Of course, you were playing in other bands, but were you nervous about being a Ramone?
No.
Recording with them?
I already did 4 albums before I joined them. One with Richard Helm, The Voidoids, The Blank Generation. I did 2 Dust albums, which was my first band. They were called Dust. And then I did a blues album with a guy named Johnny Shines, who was from the Mississippi Delta, who played with Robert Johnson. So I already had that experience, you know.
And playing the blues is so much different to playing with the Ramones. Did you enjoy playing other genres?
You have to adapt. You have to be able to play different kinds of music. That's why I always, in interviews, tell people, listen to all kinds of music so you can develop your style, you know. Play the blues, play rock, play punk, play jazz. I like jazz too. I play jazz. But, you know, in order to develop as an individual drummer, guitar player, bass player, keyboard player, listen to different kinds of music.
And do you train actually playing the drums with other genres? With other music?
Well, I as a young teenager, I listened to a lot of jazz bands, and I listened to a lot of blues groups. I listened to Dave Brubeck. I listened to Buddy Rich. I listened to Art Tatum. I listened to a lot of Gene Krupa. So that's the jazz part that I learned. Mitch Mitchell, Jimi Hendrix experience. Blues, I listened to B.B. King, Buddy Guy. I listened to Freddie King. I listened to a lot of the original Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, and that's my blues thing. And then my rock stuff, I listened to obviously the Beatles, The Who, Jimi Hendrix, Cream. I listened to bands like that, you know.
Okay. So that's it's not a basic training; it's a big training.
If you want to adapt to different styles, you should do that. You know, I mean, there's different time signatures. Time signatures 5/4, 6/4, 5/8. I learned all that stuff, you know, but I learned it myself. So I would just play to the records, you know. Jimi Hendrix, Manic Depression, it's 3/3/4. You know, it's a 3/4 time signature. And Mitch Mitchell really was a jazz drummer, and then he incorporated rock into it. Like Ginger Baker from Cream, he's a jazz drummer. Charlie Watts, jazz drummer. But they incorporated rock into their styles, you know.
So you would say to be perfect in one style like punk rock, you have to absorb many other styles.
No, but if you want to move on to other things, listen to other styles of music. Punk rock is basically 4/4 2/4. Jazz is 5/4 6/8, and stuff like that. It's a different time signature. So if you want to move on to that, you got to. It's different. It's a lot harder. But once you know that, you can join other bands that might want you to play that kind of music.
Okay. When you see so many legends retiring from touring or gone, sadly, do you think about retiring too, or you can't?
Well, when my body tells me to. there's a lot of heavy metal bands from Los Angeles that just continue, and they're really bad. I mean, you see them on YouTube, like Motley Crue, the singers, Guns N' Roses, and they should just stop already. You know what I mean? I don't mean this to be mean, just saying that why are they doing it? Because do they really need the money, or do they miss the spotlight? I mean, these guys, the singers can't even sing anymore. You know, they can't do that. They can't. So you know, I feel that a band should stop when they're at their peak, like the Ramones. Stop at your peak. Let the audience remember you when you were that good, not when you have guys who can't reach the high notes or the guitar players that sound like they have rheumatism, you know, arthritis. Just at one point, just say to yourself, what's more important? Having fans remember you when you were good, or just playing to the end when you weren't good and you lost your pride?
Yeah, but you know, the rock business has changed, and maybe we have this nostalgia tours and 50 years of this and that, and you know, so I guess it's not easy to stop. Maybe the man is too good, or maybe the ego can't stop. If you hit your ego, you can stop.
Thing is, when you look at YouTube, and I'm sure once these bands saw what they sounded like, they should realize that, hey, we got to stop. We're not as good as we were. The nostalgic thing is okay, but you got to be remembered as being really good, not continuing when you need tapes to play to. A lot of these heavy metal bands play to tapes, and then the pitch of the voices, you know, they have these machines, and then the bass player, guitar players play the tapes. It's cheating the audience. It isn't fair if they're paying $150 a ticket to hear these groups playing to tapes. You know, I mean, it's cheating.
And don't you feel nostalgic about the golden era of rock and roll? Oh, and what did you do with the Ramones, touring the world with them?
Well, we stopped at a good time. There's no nostalgic because the band has stopped. But I feel what I'm doing now is keeping the music alive, because the songs are too good not to be played. So my band is able to do that, and we proved it. But I'm not the front man, I'm the drummer. But a lot of these guys in these heavy metal bands, especially in Los Angeles, they got to know when to stop. You know, it's like, it's embarrassing to rock and roll. It's embarrassing that people have to see this, and it's bad.
Okay. I'm talking about the new generations. There's a band that could be called the inheritor of the Ramones.
Not yet. There's always a new, you know, it takes a while to start a new, how do you say, generation of bands that can be like the Beatles, the Stones, the Ramones, Nirvana, you know, or U2, all these groups. Takes a while. CBGBs we had, Ramones, Blondie, Talking Heads, Television, Patti Smith. And then, you know, before that you had the New York Dolls and the Heartbreakers. Scenes like that are very hard to start. But I feel a lot of the new bands should start their own scene, play clubs, do at least 100 shows a year, and let people know what they sound like, you know what I mean? Not just rely on a T-shirt or downloading on music streaming. They have to go out and tour. just to let people know what they sound like. That's important. And to rehearse a lot, to have band members who become friends and like the same music you like.
Okay, so 50 years since the first Ramones album. Would you say what's the legacy of the Ramones that, as you were saying, young people go to find their music?
Well, it's the lyrical content, which appeals to youth. The energy, and youth likes energy, and they hear it in the Ramones. No nonsense, no bullshit, no, the real thing. So they, like I said, I have a lot of young people at my shows, so they gravitate towards that, and they know it's no bullshit, no nonsense, and they knew that we didn't change our style. We always stuck to our guns. So I think they appreciated that,
Okay. A few days ago, we had the news that the estate of the Ramones now belongs to Linda Cummings. What do you think about that? All that stuff and legal battle around the estate of the Ramones?
Well, she owns Johnny's estate. I was recently bought out by a big company to sell my rights because I didn't want to deal with them anymore. And the brother sold his rights. And Linda just wants to keep Johnny's legacy alive. I understand that, which is good. But when I joined in '78 till now, I thought it was the right time to just have a company deal with my rights because I can't do it all by myself. I can't. But people are different. They want to keep it going, or they want to, buy it out. So that a lot of bands, Kiss did it, Blondie did it. So you say to yourself, okay, let them deal with it now. You know what I mean? I did my thing, and I had a good time in life, and now it's time to just let somebody else deal with it.
Okay. Marky, thank you very much for doing this. Welcome back to Argentina once again, and hope to see you many years more.
Thank you. You hopefully will.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.